Today in the crypto space, we see the market showing a bit of strength at the same time, showing a bit of weakness given the fact that the overall structures in the market are slowly rolling over. Bitcoin right around that $65,000 mark, showing a lot of strength here, up approximately 1.5%. Ethereum going steady at about $3,500. And the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins are pretty much a mix of green and red, kind of going sideways with a tad bias to the downside on the short time frames. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project that is showing a bit of strength at the bottom of the range, and that project is called ALEPHIUM. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the general market. We see that the market cap is going sideways right around that $2.5 trillion. We do see that the trading volume has been coming down in the last little while, showing that the market has been cooling off, but you can see that the overall trading volume is looking like for a bottom, and that could get a bit of a bounce here in the sense that we can see market participation come back in. Now, this is good in a couple of ways, given the fact that we can see the overall market cap rally up again. But the only way for that to really happen is to see more capital flow into the crypto markets. We want to see fresh new capital come in so that we can get back to the $3 trillion and perhaps, go for that $5 trillion bullish target that we all have here for the top of the bull run. But you never know, we can go much more. Bitcoin doing pretty good here, as you can see that the large caps are going sideways. Bitcoin, Ethereum, we have BNB going sideways, Solana kind of going sideways, and a lot of them are going sideways, which is a sign of strength here for a bull flag for a continuation to the upside. We have Dogecoin doing okay, XRP taking a bit of a dip, a slight one, but nothing major. And you can see the market is looking pretty green right now. It's doing pretty good, very neutral, very sideways, maybe looking for a continuation based on Bitcoin. In the last couple hours, Bitcoin has been showing a ton of strength. We have Caspa showing strength, going sideways, up approximately 2%. We have a lot of these altcoins showing strength. We have Stacks 17% in the last 7 days, doing pretty good. And if you look at the combination between 7 days and the last 24 hours, you can see that some of these gainers have been doing good, double-digit gains on the 7 days, and some of them have been going neutral in the last 24 hours, which is okay, kind of going sideways. We have a BitTensor doing great in the last 7 days, and also we have Arweave doing amazing, 40% to the upside. For the both of them, guys, if you missed out on my videos on both of them last week before the pump, guys, I would suggest that you go check them out. Why? Because it can give you an indication as what we are looking for in a market or in a chart or in the space when prior to the pump. That way you can prepare yourself. It's a good way to kind of reflect on some of the indications or the criteria that we look for prior to pump. So that's not bad of a scenario. Let's take a look at that. You can see that there is a bit of a bias to the downside as well, guys. Although we're nice and green, look at the rollover effect. Filecoin, Arbitrum, Cosmos. We also have IMX. We have SUI. We have a few. Even the Graph rolling over a little bit. Floki just a little bit, and Notcoin just a little bit. You can see the rollover effect. So there are some dips. Aave, look at these dips, right? Phantom slightly rolling over, and this is based on those shorter time frames. This is based on the 4 hour. So the question is, do we get that relief that I'm expecting or was expecting or still am expecting on the 4 hour, or do we get a sideways market for a bull flag for a continuation? All right, guys, so that's my general take here. The market is kind of neutral, give or take 2% up or down, more or less, and that's a great state to be in. It's better than dumping, right? We're showing a lot of strength at this current moment while we're gearing up for potentially another leg up. All right, guys, let's talk about charts. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's going on here with Bitcoin here on the 4 hour? The 4 hour is looking good, but let's take a look at the daily for a second. The daily at the end of the day is showing a lot of strength. As you can see, we're going for another higher high perhaps as we speak. Is it going to invalidate the bearish divergences and all of that? Right now, we can see that Bitcoin wants to get overbought, right? And then when we get overbought, that's the biggest move. That's the biggest scenario where we can see a green candle. EMA is facing up. Everything's looking good. All of a sudden, we're showing a lot of strength to the upside. And then if you start going down into the 4-hour, we do see the potential divergence happening here on momentum, right? Momentum's coming down just a little bit, as you can see, while the price action is going up and potentially, looking for that higher high. Right now, we could double top, get Class B bearish divergence, or we can go for a higher high and maintain the Class A, which is totally fine. But ultimately, the reason why we're moving up is because we're seeing volatility. The orange line get overbought, right? It wants to go overbought. The orange line, when it goes to the upside, right, alongside momentum, that's where we get another move to the upside, and that's really what's happening. What's more interesting for me as a trader is it gives me an indication as to what the bulls have in store, how much strength the bulls have. If we go for a higher high, the bulls are showing strength. If we do not go for a higher high and we make a double top or a lower high, you know what? It's not the best sign for the bulls, and it could be that this is a confirmation low and a confirmation high, a lower high, and then we roll over. However, even if we make a higher high, if we maintain the bearish divergence, it needs to be considered, because it could be that eventually we get some follow through. No guarantee. We see divergences happen with multiple drives. Just keep in mind. Now, what I also want to keep in mind is what I said yesterday. If you watch my video yesterday on Bitcoin, on the update, right, really what I was saying is we could make a structure right into here. We could definitely get into a bull flag scenario and go for another leg to the upside, which is also very possible. We are respecting the horizontal based on this high that I put in here, and basically getting a nice bounce here is a good sign, and ultimately could be respecting that range. So we got to keep in mind, all right? And this is why it's important that we try to stay one step ahead, only one step ahead. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves and start thinking about bullish targets for the bull run and all of that. Little layers by layers. We want to get to level by level. We want to be able to get there, reassess, wait for some sort of structure, and then obviously make our thesis. And at this current moment, if you plan on going long, you can potentially get in on a structure to the upside by putting a stop loss in to invalidate your bullish thesis right under here. Because if we do roll over based on the 4-hour, it could be that we come down and back test and confirm a higher low for this low right here. Because at this point, we didn't confirm anything, right? We want to get a higher low right around to here and then continue to the upside, and I'll have capital reserve for that event to happen. All right, so Bitcoin, let's take it easy here on Bitcoin. I think it's doing great. It's showing a lot of strength of the market, giving us a good indication that we're getting some capital inflow. But what about ALEPHIUM, guys? ALEPHIUM in the last little while has been cranking it to the upside. Guys, this morning I wanted to do a video, and you can see how it's moving in the last couple of hours. Look at the hourly, just all of a sudden starting moving in the last couple of hours. Crazy move to the upside, which is really good. Now, what I really want to pay attention to is the fact that we already made a higher low, right? Higher low on the 4-hour is great. Confirmation low, higher low. Now, if we go up for a higher high, close some 4-hour candles above, great. We're starting to get a pivot point trend. Now, if we get onto the daily, which where the real important stuff happens, because we've been making lower lows and lower highs in this descending wedge. And at this level, we thought maybe it was a bottom. We thought maybe we can get support on this bottom, but guess what? We didn't, guys. We got a nice higher high, and we came down for a lower low. Unfortunately, a nice confirmation low, a higher low would have been great here for a potential pivot point to give us an indication that we are ready to change character of the structure. But guess what? It said no. Invalidation came down, potentially coming down to lower levels to form structure again. And I feel like that's what's happening, giving us another opportunity. The overall market sentiment is much different than it was here, right? ALEPHIUM got its nice upgrade, and it was a very bullish one. It did very well, and it rallied up and then came back down. And now the overall sentiment in the market is like, we are ready to start accumulating. We are ready to anticipate a continuation here. We've bled out quite a bit. Some of these altcoins are in below the previous bear market lows. Some of them are testing the bear market lows. And this is where the risk to reward ratio improves significantly. What I want to look at is also this volume. You can see this red candle right here, this red volume bar, and then look at the candle. Look how big this red candle is, and look how weak the actual bearish response was. It's not a good sign. That it looks like the bears are done. It looks like the bears are showing a bit of weakness, and the bulls with a bit of volume are able to basically reclaim its price action. Strength, a lot of strength here for the bulls. Okay, so something to consider here is that we could be getting the pivot point. Now, if you are looking for structure, that is a great idea, especially on the daily. Getting a structure on the daily is bullish. If we can come up, maybe break that trend, come back down, get a confirmation low, higher low, and then go for another break of the previous high and then keep on going. Now all of a sudden we start looking at this as a pivot point. Great, but obviously this takes patience, guys. It takes patience. And then we start looking for a bullish target, which the bullish target is usually the base of the wedge, which is all the way about here, about $33.25. Bullish. Now, if you look at the oscillators, right, you can see that overall momentum is leaving the station. It's kind of moving to the upside, but volatility is overbought and it could be looking for a full reset to oversold conditions, which means that the 4-hour could be, done. It could be coming down based on the 4-hour. But if you look at the momentum on the 4-hour, look at this, guys, no resets whatsoever. Look at this. We're just basically making higher lows and trekking to the upside. Also on the 4-hour, the retracements are shallow, guys. This is divergence on all time frames. 4-hour, daily, everywhere, looking a lot like a lot of strength. So this is a tough game, right? Because if you look at the price action, there's no horizontal support here. We're pretty much hoping that this little jitter down here acts as support, and that's about it. You saw that the trend was looking good, the trend oscillator. Before I move on, look at the trend oscillator. EMA is facing up, green histogram bars, potentially trying to get into the bullish control zone. Lots of good alpha here for ALEPHIUM and potential pivot point structure that could be basically built in this level. So we got to try to stay one step ahead, guys. I would say DCA as the structure gets built, and as soon as you feel that your position size is getting too large, put a stop loss in underneath the structure and then start expecting it to move to the upside. And if it doesn't, no big deal. You take a small loss based on the structure, and then we reaccumulate when we get structure once again or get some sort of indication that the market's ready to rock. At this current moment, guys, we are slowly making lower lows and lower highs. I get it. But at any moment now, we could be getting that pivot point structure that we're looking for with this divergences that we're seeing across the market, and we could get that relief to the upside. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. Take care, guys. I'll see you tonight, 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.